So I'm Shandrie Lewis. I'm the broker owner here at RE/MAX Professionals, and today I'm here with our most veteran agent in the office, Fern Proulx. And I asked him to join us today just for a little chat because he recently celebrated his 40th year anniversary with RE/MAX. So congratulations, first of all, Fern.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I have a few questions for you. I wanted to know what inspired you to start your real estate career in the first place. I know you had gotten your real estate license before there was even a RE/MAX to join in St. Albert, but what inspired you to get into the industry in the first place?
Well, I've been at a GM dealership for like 14 years, working at Stedabauer Chevrolet, to be honest. And we were just married, Geneva and I, and Dalen had just been born. Dalen, who now works with me for the last 20 years, had just been born. And I went to my boss, current boss there, and said, look, I worked my way up to be a manager with the real estate, or with the auto industry. And I'm making you a lot of money, but you know, I won't get paid back for this stuff that I'm doing for you for a few years. And I had really liked that job, and the guy said to me, my boss said to me, well, Fern, I pay you what you're worth. And I said, whoa, okay, thanks very much. Mm-hmm. I took my holidays that summer. We went to Waskesiu. I bought the $20 real estate book, which was what they had in 1977. And I studied the book. When I came back, I wrote the exam and I passed. And then I went back to my manager and I said, thank you for your time. I enjoyed working here. I'm going to try real estate. And he said, oh, no, please stay. We'll give you what you want. I said, you know what? I'm going to try this. And it's the best move I ever made.
No looking back.
No looking back. I was fairly successful to start with. And it was hard times in the real estate industry. So I took a job here in St. Albert as the manager of a real estate company, Canada Permanent Trust. They no longer exist. But there, I was managing 25 or 30 people, and I realized that if I want to make any money in real estate, being on your own is the best thing to do. So I went into sales for a while. When I realized that all the best realtors in St. Albert were working for RE/MAX at the time, I interviewed a few that worked for RE/MAX because they were familiar to me, and they all had great things to say about the system. So I joined in 1985, January 1. And it's the best thing I've ever done there too.
1985, wow. So 40 years is a long time to be in any industry, let alone real estate, which is always evolving and always changing. What are some of the biggest changes you might have noticed in your career in the past 40 years?
I think the biggest single change is the iPhone.
Really?
The iPhone has changed everything. We used to have to take stacks of books with us when we went on appointments. We used to have everything. If we got an offer, we used to have to go down to the telegraph office at the CN Tower to get an acceptance from a vendor who was out of town. And inevitably, you would tell them over the phone, you need to say the price that you're accepting, the date, the down payment, who it's from, and who you are. And they would do this. You would go down once the telegram was there, and you'd realize they forgot to put the price in, for instance. So you'd have to start this all over again. So the way we present offers now and iPhones are the two biggest things.
Wow. Telegrams. You worked when there was telegrams being used.
The first company, we had car radios. I was car number 10. And so if I was on the south side and somebody needed something, they would say, anybody in, Mill Woods, if you're in the area, can you pick up a key for me? And I would reply, car 10, I'm in the area, I'll pick it up. And that was how we did business.
So technology advancement has really
Absolutely
helped your business and your ability to serve more clients quicker.
Today's realtors are so much more efficient than we were.
Now, thinking back on your long career in real estate, especially the last 40 years, is there a memorable moment that stands out to you that you could maybe share with us today?
Just a thought about how St. Albert people really like to work in St. Albert and live in St. Albert. I once sold a house on Broadview Crescent to I sold it 3 different times. Anyway.
Well, one thing I can say for sure is that there's no doubt that you know every street and every corner of this city. And when our office goes out on tours, we do 2 realtor open house tours a week. Fern's always the leader because he knows every corner of this city.
Yeah.
No map, no iPhone GPS required.
One of the reasons is I do a lot of walking and over the years, but yeah.
Yeah. Now I'd like to ask, what do you love most about being a part of our office here at RE/MAX Professionals? We've been around here in this office for, like you said, 40 years now. You've been part of the only RE/MAX office in St. Albert. What is one of the highlights for you for being a part of RE/MAX Professionals?
That's easy. The meetings. I enjoy the meetings, Fridays and Mondays. We learn so much about what we're doing as a team. We learn tips of stuff that's coming on. And we get to find out about each other a little bit. Like this morning was a typical meeting. The meeting is over, but we're still wanting to get together and talk about what we're doing. And the experience that we have in our office, second to none. Most of the people here are self-starters. They're business people, and they're vibrant, and makes the meetings really interesting and valuable.
And you're a big part of those meetings because the meetings are always better when you're here with them. So there's a lot of new agents that like to join the industry, and being a veteran agent, there'd be nobody better to give advice to somebody starting. What advice could you give to a new agent in the industry here in our office?
I think the first thing I would say to them when they come into the business is prepare yourself financially to have a year of tough times perhaps, or of not a lot of income, because the first year is important. You shouldn't have to worry about where your next dollar is coming from. You should be doing what's best for your clients, and sometimes that takes a while. And I think that the other thing that I would tell young people is to take time for your family. Even though you're busy, take time for your family and make sure that you keep yourself healthy also.
Invaluable advice.
Yep.
Now, Fern, what has been the key to your long-term success in this industry? A lot of agents don't make it past their first or second year, but you've thrived in this industry for decades. What has been the key to your success?
I would say trying to do what's best for your clients. Remember that they are paying your wages. So if you approach every area, every business transaction as if it was for yourself, what advice would you give them? And if you give them good advice, sometimes it's not going to make you a lot of money, but they realize it's good advice and they will use you in the future. Also, making sure that you do client follow-up and client retention things. I know some of the newer realtors use social media a lot, and that's really good. I've used mailers as my main thing over the years because we didn't have iPhones and stuff like that. So I think keeping in touch with your clients, doing what's best for them, will bring back success for years. Yeah.
Yeah, your referral and repeat customer database is
pretty much
significant. Yeah. In this industry, you work with buyers and sellers. What would you say is the most rewarding part about finding a buyer their dream home?
The look on their face when you find the right house. They just know that that's the house for them, and you can tell the vibrations are there, and you can tell that it's time for them to get onto this particular house. And with young people, it's so much fun. I'm now working with a lot of clients who their children are buying homes, and same idea. Do what's best for them. They like what they see, and you notice it, and it's kind of a nice feeling.
Now I'd like to ask you, if you could go back and give your younger self advice when you first got into this industry, is there any piece of advice you'd like to offer yourself?
Again, I think do more client awareness things, and find a partner within your office that you can partner with and share your goals with that partner, because that's going to help you stay on track. Find somebody that's equal to you if you can, and have heart-to-heart with them once a week about what you're doing, so that you're not kind of wasting your time and you're helping that person achieve their goals, they're helping you achieve yours. So keep those goals open to a partner.
That's great advice. Mentorship is so important, and I'd like to thank you for being a mentor to many agents throughout the last 40 years as well, because it is very valuable to have.
It's been a fun office to work with.
Well, thank you for your dedication to the work that you do, for all the clients that you have helped buy and sell homes, but more than anything, thank you for being a fixture in this office. We appreciate you, and we are grateful to see you here every day. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.